go to London and speak to the film critic Richard Fitzwilliams. Richard, thank you so much indeed for your time. My guess is that Sidney Poitier was the first black man to be nominated for Best Actor. I may be wrong, but the point is, how important was the African-American element of James Earl Jones, the actor, and how much was it just the fact that he was a fine actor?
I think that it has been said of James Earl Jones that he rose above racism and cruelty because of his presence and, of course, you mentioned iconically, a voice that was probably the most iconic in Hollywood. I mean, he was a remarkable figure because, of course, in a career that spanned so many decades, and most particularly on Broadway, he won, as you say, a large number of awards. He never won an Oscar, but he won an honorary Oscar. But what was so fascinating was his personal battle to be this amazing figure whose voice was recognized when, as a child brought up by his grandparents from the age of 5, he had actual difficulty in speaking and had to struggle to overcome this.
Yeah, you mentioned his stage career. He began in the 1950s, didn't he? Of course, a long, long career, acting either in front of the camera or a live audience. But he was also comedic as well as dramatic. I mean, later in life, he was in that Eddie Murphy film, Coming to America, which he just excelled at. It's incredible to see these dramatic actors then turn to something different.
It's absolutely fascinating that he was very versatile. I remember meeting him. His presence was, putting it mildly, very, very memorable. He was a wonderfully genial figure, having played Big Daddy on the London stage in Cat on the Hot Tin Roof. And it was absolutely fascinating to hear anecdotes from him. As you say, he had a very versatile career. For example, as an admiral, he played adaptations in film, the 3 Tom Clancy novels as Admiral Greer, including Patriot Games and The Hunt to Red October. And then, of course, unforgettably, there was that voice in Star Wars as the most evil of villains that you could conceive, Darth Vader, the original Star Wars, and The Empire Strikes Back. But Earl Jones believed that at that stage he didn't want to be credited. He thought that this was, so to speak, a special effect. By the time of the Return to Jedi, he was credited. And of course, remember also that that voice introduced CNN for so long and again was so well known.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely one of the most famous lines in all of cinema belongs to James Earl Jones. "No, Luke, I am your father." And the way he delivered it with that voice. I also enjoyed him in Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, where he was an elderly kind of gentle man who would teach people through his gentleness how to be a better person. Was he in any way like that in real life? Was he a generous actor? Was he a bit greedy? Some of the best actors are very egotistical.
I think that everyone is agreed that he was a very so to speak, a gentle giant. I mean, as a presence, he was wonderfully suited for roles such as Macbeth, Othello, Lear, which he played. His stage career was amazing. But as an individual, not only charming to meet, but also I think universally beloved. Yes, you mentioned that famous line. Mark Hamill has tweeted, R.I.P. Father. And indeed, you could say that there was a universality about his personality that, although he never won an Oscar, he won an honorary Oscar. And when he was playing a black boxer, there's little doubt that he was an iconic part of the African-American experience, but so to speak, a universal figure, genial, much loved, and someone who always said, "I'm a novice," even though he reached the top of the tree.
Richard, obviously, your cultural references regarding James Earl Jones are so much more educated than mine. Thank you so much indeed, Richard. So wonderful to hear your thoughts about a great, great actor. Take care.